Hello YouTube. Last couple of days I've been busy working on the motorhome, basically trying to get this thing prepped for about a 5,000 mile journey. Now you're thinking, man, look at that handsome looking guy. You can probably see I'm all hot and sweaty and nasty and everything else. So I put all new turbo tubing, that the bands or whatever you want to call them, and actual clamps on it. I was having a power problem with this thing, and I've changed filters and everything else, so I thought those bands, and possibly I changed the lift pump, which was an absolute nightmare. And the reason why I didn't want to film it is because I knew it was going to be an absolute nightmare. Got it on there, everything's running, everything seems to be working real good. We put a new toilet in, we've done a bunch of stuff here lately, just things that have absolutely needed to be done. You see that bright orange thing right there? And there's another one up there, and then there's a blue one over here. I don't know if you can see the blue one. Yeah, you can just barely see the blue one. And then on the other side over there, there's another orange one. This big huge tube, this thing that goes across here, that's from the air cleaner. And then that runs over into the turbo right there, and then it blows out that way, goes down, goes through the cooler, comes out of the cooler, comes up, and then goes into the motor. There's like a little hole in between the frame and the exhaust system. I can climb down from the top. I can get in there and stand up, and I can work. But the problem with it is I'm working down here where I can't see. I have to kind of lean over to the side to be able to see it. Another thing we're going to do is I bought all new Coney shocks for this thing, to the tune of, let's see, $800 for 4 shocks. There's the shocks in there. See the shocks? Those are the old ones. Those are Bilstein junk. You should have seen this motorhome. I got some pictures. I'll have Darla put them on this video so you can see. Of course, I haven't even talked to you guys about that. We left that campground. They closed it. You see, I guess it was like Sunday or Monday. They said, well, you gotta just go back to the campground, then that way you can do all the work you need to do on your motorhome. And then at the last moment, they said, well, we got another campground for you, and it'll be long-term, and you'll be able to work on your motorhome, and everything will be wonderful. To make a long story short, it was way down a dirt road. We followed our guy. It was a long ways from here, and then we got on this dirt road and started going down this dirt road. And it was a freaking disaster, man. My truck was just covered. We ran through a rainstorm yesterday because we are actually moving again. We're going to be down by Laredo, which there's a couple of bad features to that, but for the most part, it's going to be better. I could probably get my windshield replaced while we're there, and it's close to big stores and all kinds of good stuff. So kind of happy about that gig. But the whole side of this motorhome was brown, man. I mean, you could still, if you get up close, you can still see it's still got lines of stuff in it. I mean, I washed it for 2.5 hours. I scrubbed on this thing to get it this clean, and I normally keep it really pristine. I kind of got a little bit probably too excited with the gentleman, and while I'm standing there looking at the spot he wanted me to be in, which had pallets so that you could walk to the truck and not be in the mud, a big probably 3-pound rat ran across in front of me. I said, there's no way we're staying here. And one thing I'll warn you guys about gate guarding, they're going to tell you all kinds of wonderful things to get you to go to the gates they need you at. And, you know, what a lot of people don't understand, and we didn't understand at first, but if you don't want to do the gate, all you have to do is tell them, I'm not going to do this. And the reason is we were 50 miles from anything. So, I mean, for older people, if you get sick or something like that, God help, you know, you have some kind of a major stroke or something, by the time they get to you, you're dead. And I just told him, I said, there ain't no way we're going to be way out here in the boonies like this, and especially with all this dirt and everything else. So he said, okay, we'll go back to the campground. We got a new spot coming up. It's right off the road, right off the big highway, right off of Highway 35. It's about 15 miles from Laredo, which is nothing when you're doing 75 miles an hour on that big road. So it's a nice looking little gate, be a nice spot, and it will be probably a permanent till we're ready to leave. So sometimes you just have to hold out until you get what you want. So we're back at this nice campground. This is Triple R RV Park, and it's in Crystal, Texas. And we're getting ready for probably a rainstorm, which which would be good because that'll help rinse some more of the stuff off the motorhome. I'll tell you what, when you run these things for 10 years, you start finding out there's a lot of things that have to be done. Like, I mean, the toilet wore out. I mean, it wore out. It wasn't, you know, it just couldn't be fixed anymore, and I wasn't going to mess with it anymore. And then there's certain other things that you need to be able to do to take care of things. And if you don't stay ahead of it, then it'll catch up to you, and then it will prevent you from doing things. And this thing had so little power. I'm just hoping there's only one more thing directly that could be. I tested the turbo's working fine, all that's working good. There's 2 filters on this thing, and I just changed the one I changed 3 times already, and the one up in the top, little tiny one, I mean, I normally change that every other at the most of those rear ones. I'll change 2 of those rear ones to one of that little one. But it's possible it could be that, but I always thought the problem was because when I opened the bleeder, I wasn't getting any fuel out. And it was when I took that filter off, it was always 2 or 3 inches of down filter. And playing around with that pump, I could barely get it to squirt. So I think I got it. We'll see. If not, I'm going to change that other filter, and if that fixes it, I'll probably just shoot myself. Things are getting back to normal. Like I say, that other gate, that was a good gate. That was a good location. We didn't have too many problems there. I don't think we'll have any down there in Laredo. Some people are afraid of it because it's closer to the border and it's near the main highway, but we found that when you're closer to the highway, you don't have too many of the illegals, but we'll just have to see. The illegal thing down here right now, anybody that's interested in coming down here, there's a lot of them. I'll just warn you about that. But for the most part, during the day, they're hiding, they're kind of laying low. And at night, when you have all your lights on, that's why I always ask for extra lights. I already told them how many lights I want. And I always put a light underneath down here behind this tire, aiming back so I can see if anything's crawling around under the motorhome. And you just tell them what you want, and they'll usually give you the lighting you need. And that's what prevents you from really having problems. Now, we're supposed to leave here Saturday to go over and set up, and then Sunday's supposed to be our first day with trucks. So it's kind of like a nice little break, and if I can get those shocks on tomorrow, then we could take most of the day Saturday would be off, and then we won't start working until Sunday morning. So, and we want to get this done, make some money, and then we're going to get out of here sometime in August. I'm not sure when. Depends on when Sugar Beets. I got my stuff. Wanting to make sure I'm coming back, so I got to fill that out, mail that in, and get that activated, and then we're signed up for Sugar Beets again. So if we could just work this long enough so that we have about 3 weeks off in between Sugar Beets and this, we should be in pretty good shape to do all the traveling we want to do. So anyway, guys, subscribe, just let us know what you think. Please leave comments. I appreciate the comments. I like to hear what you guys have to say. We've broken 100,000 views, which is a big deal, and it puts us into kind of a little different category. Not that we're really trying to achieve star status, but it's kind of interesting to see it grow as opposed to shrinking up. It was kind of weird there for a while, but we're starting to grow again, so that's a positive thing, and it just gives us more incentive to do more videos. And you know, things change. There's times like this where we're just doing what we're doing, and just trying to give you as much information about this, so that if you decide, hey, you know, let's go down there and give it a try, you're not coming down here and all of a sudden whammo. Because I mean, I can make it look really, really rosy, but if you get here and you don't like it, you're not gonna like me. So we're gonna be honest about this, and I'm always gonna try to tell you the truth. And the thing about it is it's pretty good money for sitting in your motorhome. We sit in the motorhome at least 50% of the time, maybe even longer. At night, I spend more time inside. Darla spends more time outside during the day, but it's safer during the day. There's not, you know, this time of year, what they are talking about around here, all the guards, is that at night is when the snakes are coming out. And a lot of them are getting under houses and under brush and everything else. So, you know, pretty much that's why I like that light underneath the motorhome. So you can, when you walk out, you look down, and if there's nothing on the ground, that you know you can get away from the motorhome, and then you can stand back and look. And if you see anything, then you know that, yeah, I always leave something like a broom or something outside to try to shoo them away. I don't really like killing them. I don't like killing anything, but sometimes things have to be killed. So it's the way it is. Anyway, guys, subscribe, like, hit the bell if you want notification. And we'll be talking to you soon, maybe even tomorrow. I'll show you my new shocks. They're awesome looking. Talk to you later.